And good afternoon. It is Friday. It is time for our Lunch and Learn. And today we're going to be talking about nitric oxide. Now, what is nitric oxide? Well, depending on where you are in the world and what your hobbies are, you may know nitric oxide is what you put in your engine to make it go faster if you're a car driver or a race car driver and that kind of thing. But also your body needs nitric oxide. Now, a lot of times people will think that nitric oxide is just for post-workout or I have erectile dysfunction, so nitric oxide is going to help with that. And you're right. All right, you're right. But this wonderful chemical is found in beets. Okay, so how many of you raise your hand like beets? I like beets. Okay, I don't particularly like beets from a can, although I do eat them, but I love roasted beets. I shave them, okay, because they've got that hard exterior, and I cut them up. And be careful, if you are like me and you have a white marble cutting board, it will turn it pink because a beet bleeds pink or red, okay? But you cut them up and you put them in and you roast them just like you would roast a potato, and they are absolutely delicious. The greens from the top of the beet, you know, the beet grows underground, right? So the beets, the greens, if you put them in your green drink, it'll turn your green drink red, and it makes it a beautiful, sweet green drink, and I like beets. Now, I want to talk to you about beets today for a lot of different reasons. There are 10 benefits of beets to your health. So the main component is that nitric oxide, and we're going to talk about what we have here in the clinic that can help you if you need that. I'm just going to tell you, everybody needs beets. All right, they are considered a superfood because they promote antioxidant delivery in the body. So what is antioxidants? Think about outside your metal building, your metal tools. Maybe you've got an older vehicle and it has started rusting. Rusting is oxidative stress. The oxygen hits it, it causes the rust, okay? Inside our body, we don't get the air to our body, so we don't have that kind of rust. However, we've got metabolic processes that take the valence electrons off of the foods that we eat, and it creates loose ones that are not bound. Remember, your ninth grade biology or ninth grade chemistry. Those valence electrons become uncoupled. They become free radicals. So your antioxidants capture those free radicals because free radicals will cause damage to your immune system and they make you age faster. So nobody's got time for that. So beets are really, really good because they are antioxidants. Now remember, we have this scanner in the clinic, Pharmanex, okay? We've got it in the clinic, and what it does is it reads the antioxidant level on your skin. How does it do that? I don't know. It's a special laser, and all it can read is the antioxidant level in your body. And so it kind of tells us what your digestion is doing, and it tells us what your immune system is doing, okay? So what makes the beets red is beta-cyanides that are antioxidants known to reduce inflammation and protects against oxidative damage, oxidative stress. They also contain anthocyanins. Now, you've heard me talk about anthocyanins before. Why? Because Meta, remember we did the Meta Challenge last year? Remember these beautiful, this is my bottle so I can open it. These beautiful little purple pearls, right? Now, there's no beets in these, but they've got anthocyanins in them from your black rice, purple rice, all different things in there, okay? And clinical studies have shown that it reverses metabolic processes. So what does that mean? That means on your blood work, if your values are not in line with what they need to be, if you take something with anthocyanins in them, then the anthocyanins are going to work on that free radical damage and your blood work is going to be better. And that's good news for all of us, okay? So anthocyanins are found only in red, purple, and blue fruits and black rice, I told you that, and vegetables. These flavonoids are known to protect against many health issues such as hypertension, heart disease, cancer, all right, and neurodegenerative diseases. What does that mean? That means your brain's not functioning properly, right? So if you take beets and you're of a certain age and you're concerned about dementia, you're concerned about Alzheimer's, you're concerned about Parkinson's, guess what? Beets have in it the properties that you need in order to either stop that or possibly reverse that, okay? In traditional Chinese medicine, beets are always used for cardiovascular disease, and they are to nourish the blood. So if you've got low platelets, if your white blood cells, red blood cells are not doing what they need to do, then beets might be your answer, all right? They are high in nitrates, which are converted into that special nitric oxide for the body. Nitric oxide helps our cells communicate with each other, and the leading site of molecules communication is the inner layer of the blood vessels, the endothelium. Nitric oxide causes the walls of the blood vessels to dilate and widen, increasing the blood flow through the vessel and decreasing blood pressure. Now, this is good if you are a hypertensive patient, but also those men of a certain age that are having a little bit trouble with an erection. You can find that nitric oxide is a real benefit because it expands those blood vessels. You get more blood, you get more oxygen, therefore the erection is just going to be a little bit better. So that's what you want to know about the nitric oxide. But it is so good for the rest of our body, all right? Both the juice of the beet and the beets are packed with nutritional and medicinal benefits, all right? I like to eat beets, buy them in the grocery store, shave off that hard part, cut up the greens, put them in a juice, like I said, and then roast your beets because they are absolutely delicious, all right? So the first health benefit of the beet is that it lowers blood pressure, and it lowers blood pressure significantly, all right? Drinking a cup of beetroot juice every day could significantly lower your blood pressure, according to the Queen Mary University of London. Study participants with hypertension who drank 1 cup of beetroot juice daily saw their blood pressure levels drop into the normal range by the end of the study. Now, they don't tell us how long the study was, so we might have to Google that and find out. But I would imagine it would be at least a 30-day study. According to the book Healing Foods by DK Publishing, fresh beetroot juice can lower blood pressure within an hour. So if you're someone, I had a gentleman come in and see me this week, and his blood pressure was a little bit high, and he said he had an argument with the missus on his way out. So what he should have done when we saw that his blood pressure was high is he should have gone home, made some beetroot juice, and within an hour, his blood pressure would have been back in normal, all right? Beetroot supplements, you can get supplements that are in a capsule, all right? They can take up to 6 hours to have the same effect. So the best way to have the beet is, if you're going to do it for hypertension, is to have it in a liquid juice form, not in a pill form, all right? The second benefit is that it increases physical stamina. So it's been shown to have benefits in a study published in the Journal of Nutrients, that's the name of it, Nutrients, indicated that supplementation with beetroot juice may improve athletic performance by improving cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory endurance. An increase in the nitric oxide level was shown to improve blood flow, mitochondria biogenesis, and gas exchange improvement. So that's with muscle contractions, okay? So when you're working out and you're doing all the heavy lifting, no pun intended, then that nitric oxide goes in there, takes that blood, takes that oxygen right into those muscles, and so it increases the mitochondrial function, which is new blood cells, right? And it also exchanges that oxygen for that carbon dioxide. So remember, when you get exercising and you get the tiredness and all that, that's because of the lactic acid buildup. So nitric oxide could help with that, okay? So that's important to know. So if you're a workout person, and we all should be, then that beetroot juice is going to have some benefit to that. It also enhances the stamina, endurance, and the performance. So you're going to do better if you have that going in through your system. Another benefit is that it increases muscle production, making the muscles appear more defined and more prominent because of the increased blood flow. So if you're a bodybuilder, you're getting ready to go out and do all your things, then you want to do beetroot juice before that because it's going to make your muscles look that much bigger and that much stronger, all right? Beetroot juice can also, the third benefit is that it helps stabilize blood sugar. So for all of you out there that are diabetic, and we have tons of you, all right, I know that every other person pretty much that comes into the clinic has hypertension or diabetes, and sometimes we have both, right? So beetroot juice is a really, really good answer for that. It supports healthy blood sugar levels. When blood sugar is stable, it is easier to control the weight. Oxidative stress, here it is again, oxidative stress, and inflammation can also lead to obesity. So how does inflammation lead to obesity? I'm so glad you asked. When you're inflamed, your body is stressed. When your body is stressed, you produce more cortisol. Cortisol leads to belly fat, all right? And so as that happens and you get fatter, then we've got insulin resistance, we've got all kinds of things, and it just snowballs into the whole diabetic picture. So we know that if we do beetroot juice, that can really help with the blood sugar and to keep it to be balanced. There was a study at Wake Forest University, and a steady flow of oxygen-rich blood to the brain is critical for its health. So that's benefit number 4. So if you are of a certain age and we're having that senior moment or cognitive decline or brain fog or dementia or whatever you want to call it, I'm not having it. It's not part of my vocabulary, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do because we want to make sure that our brain does what it needs to do. So if the beets increase the blood flow, you've got more blood to the brain's going to function just that much better. The study shows, the Wake Forest study shows that beetroot powder was shown to improve cognition and brain function. So I think I'll go get a glass in a minute, all right? The 5th thing that it does is it prevents cancer. Now, used to be, I'm not sure what the numbers, it's been a minute, okay? But right now, 1 in 2 men have cancer and 1 in 3 women have cancer. Okay, I think those are the statistics. I may have got those reversed. But anyway, 1 out of 3 of us has cancer. We don't want to have cancer. Nobody's got time for that. We've got too much work to do, too many people to touch, all that kind of good stuff. So beets are high in the nutrients and they are rich in the antioxidants. Researchers have linked anthocyanins found in the beets to prevent cancer. All right, prevent cancer. Beetroot shows promise for treating clinical pathologies. That's the proper name for cancer, right? Clinical pathologies associated with oxidative stress and inflammation. It's been shown in research to be a potent antioxidant with anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, anti-mutagenic, and chemopreventative benefits, all factors in cancer treatment and prevention. So if you already are the 1 in 3 that has cancer, if you do beetroot juice, it's going to protect your body against the ravages of chemotherapy. Now, let me just make something clear. Chemotherapy does kill cancer, and thank God that it does. However, it doesn't know the difference between a cancer cell and a normal cell. And so when you do chemo, you've got all these residual problems. You're losing your hair, you can't eat, you're nauseated all the time because the chemo goes in and it gets all of your system. So beetroots are so powerful that it helps ameliorate those negative effects from chemo. So if you are already doing that, you might find that adding beets and beetroot juice to your regimen might help you on that. Okay, so that's something that I definitely would be doing if I were doing that. Beetroots, the plant, the vegetable, okay, is very, very high in fiber, and it promotes the growth of healthy bacteria in the gut. Having enough beneficial bacteria, we talk about this all the time, makes it that you can absorb your nutrition, right? And it helps you to have all the nutrients that you need. But the fiber helps boost your immune system, and it helps you get rid of all the waste products. So if you are a little bit on the constipated side and you're not moving your bowels like you need to, then you might find that adding the vegetable, because of its fiber, is going to help you on that. So fiber improves digestion and reduces the risk of constipation. A single cup of beets, and this is the vegetable, provides 3.8 grams of fiber, and that's a lot. All right, that's a lot. I think that is the daily recommended allowance that we should have, is 3 to 4 grams of fiber. Most of us do not get it. All right, you get your fiber from your fruits and your vegetables, eaten whole, eaten raw. Nobody's going to eat a raw beetroot. I didn't think you could. I mean, they're hard to cut, right? So I don't think you could do that. However, it's full of fiber, and so you take that fiber in and it just pulls all the trash out of your body. And so that's really, really good. And they don't taste bad. I mean, I'm not really a fan of what you get that's processed in a can or a jar that you put in your refrigerator, but a fresh beet is fabulous, all right? It reduces, as we've said, it reduces inflammation. Chronic inflammation increases the risk of developing many diseases. Beetroots contain powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called beta lanes, I think is how you say it. It's spelled BETALAINS. They have been shown, these beta lanes have been shown to inhibit specific pathways that play a significant role in inflammatory diseases. So what is an inflammatory disease? Let me give you a hint. Every single disease is because of chronic inflammation. So that's hypertension, that's cancer, that's diabetes, that is obesity, right? All of those things are chronic inflammatory processes, and beets reduce the inflammation, all right? Incorporating the beets into your diet are a great way to reduce inflammation and thereby reducing disease. Now, I just want to say right here, don't think that inflammation is all bad, right? Chronic inflammation is what's bad. If you don't have inflammation in your body, acute inflammation, then you're not going to heal. Why is that? Say I fall down and I cut myself. Well, I'm going to cry. I'm going to bleed. It's going to get all pussy. It's going to try and heal. All of that is an inflammatory response. It tells my white blood system, hey, alert, we've got an invader, we've got a problem, we need to all rush to the rescue, close it up, protect the skin, don't let anything in. That is an inflammatory response. When that happens to me, I get my silver gel, which is an antibiotic, right? I put it on, I cover it with a Band-Aid. Usually by the end of the day, it is all gone, depending on how bad it is, right? So that inflammation it happens, I take care of it, it's gone. It's not chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is inflammation that has gone on for hours, days, weeks, months, and sometimes years, okay? So if you have cancer, it's because you've had chronic inflammation for years. If you've got hypertension, it's chronic inflammation. If you have diabetes, it's chronic inflammation. If you're heavy, it's chronic inflammation, okay? And so we don't want chronic inflammation. Beets help with that. It also, number 8, boosts your immunity. So why do we need good immunity? Well, I don't know. There's bugs out there, right? There's viruses, there's bacteria, there's germs, there's heavy metal. There's all the kind of things that we come in contact with every day just because we're alive on the planet, right? So our immune system should be strong. And when an invader comes in, my body goes, oh, I don't like this. I need to mount a defense about this, right? And so that's why I'm never sick, is because my immune system is on point all the time. So I think it's been probably, I couldn't tell you the last time I was sick. I just couldn't tell you because I don't get sick. I just don't. And that's because I take good care of my body. And I have stuff at home. So when I don't feel 100%, I start taking it, boom, 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 every 2 hours. And so nothing ever gets a foothold in there, right? But beets boosts your immune system. So beetroot powder is packed with vitamins and minerals, including manganese, magnesium, iron, and folate. It also contains a very high concentration of vitamin C, which is an antioxidant that boosts the immune system and helps prevent colds and flu. The ninth benefit is that beets help detoxify your liver, and it increases your liver function. Now, this is awesome for all of us, but it's really, really good for us older people. Why is that? Because your liver is your number one filter in the body. So think about, give you a picture here. We have air conditioning, right? You have air conditioning in your home. You have air conditioning in your car. Every 2 to 3 months, whatever your filter says, you go and you change that filter. Why? So your air conditioning system will work the way it's supposed to. We change our fuel filters. We change our oil filters. We change all the filters that we deal with all of our appliances to extend the life of our appliances. Well, this girl and you too have a liver, and your liver is your largest filter in the body. I don't want you to have a liver transplant. I don't want you to have to replace that. But you can clean that and you can detoxify that. And if you're over 50 years old, you should be doing that every single year, okay? So beets help do that. So let me just tell you about that. When the liver is overburdened or sluggish, the entire body will suffer. A healthy functioning liver can increase energy levels and boost overall health. Beets are a natural detoxifier and can boost liver function. It's been shown to increase circulation, remove waste from the cells, deliver oxygenated blood to the cells, and it affects the liver by reducing, guess what? Inflammation and oxidative stress. Chinese medicine has used beetroot to cleanse the liver for centuries. I mean, Chinese medicine's been around 2,000 to 3,000 years, I think, maybe even longer. All right. Then number 10 is beetroot may increase longevity. All right. So those of you that know me, I'm a Christian. I don't apologize for that. I want to live my full amount of time, 120 years, right? But I don't want to live that in a dilapidated body. I want to live that the same way that I live now, right? I'm losing my thing here. I want to live as strong as I am now, and so beets are going to help me do that. Beets hold tremendous potential to increase longevity because of the many benefits that have been proven of their high nitric oxide and antioxidant content. In 2019, a study published in the journal named Nutrition showed that increased nitric oxide production from nitrite-rich beet juice supplementation was shown to improve cardiovascular and cognitive function, both important factors for healthy aging and longevity. Centenarians have been known to include beetroot tops, beet greens in their diet. So, want to talk to you about beets. This is a brand new product, all right? And there's beets out there. You see adverts all the time on the television. But I like this. I'm going to put on my specs because I need a little help here, okay? So this is a superfood, and I love it because it's got more than just beets in it. It has in it the beetroot, pomegranate fruit, all right, green coffee bean extracts. It's got a little bit of caffeine in it. Green tea leaf extract, turmeric root extract, blueberry fruit, broccoli powder, tart cherry fruit, kale. Nobody likes kale, right? But kale is in here. And then apple, okay, grape skin, grape seed extract, and olive extract, right? So we've got all of this in this beautiful powder. You put this powder in a drink. It's new. I know hubby is loving it. Okay. You put it in a drink, and what does it say? I think it's 8 ounces. Oh, 12 ounces, 12 to 16 ounces. So you can put it in a bottle, right? And so it gives you sustained energy. It says without the jitters. Why is that? Because the caffeine comes from natural sources, right? Your green coffee bean, not, it hasn't gone through all the processing, right? And so you're going to want to do this. Very, very good. Lots of good stuff in there, and it tastes really good as well. So I like it. It's in a liquid form. The liquid form is better than the supplemental form. Why? Because we saw that when you have hypertension, if you drink the juice, your blood pressure is going to go down within an hour, whereas if you take a supplement, it's going to take about 6 hours. Now, there are some cautions when you are doing beetroot juice, especially if you have hypertension. So we're gonna imagine that it's me. Okay, I don't take any medication, but we're gonna say for right now it's me. I have hypertension. I'm taking blood pressure medication. I decide, I heard Dr. Polly on the I was gonna say the TV, but YouTube. I heard Dr. Polly and she said beetroot was good, so I'm gonna start taking beetroot. Okay, good. What I want you to do is, as that lowers your blood pressure, if you're still taking your blood pressure medication, it can lower it too far. All right, so you need to be really mindful, know what your numbers are, right? Keep monitoring what you're doing with your beetroot juice and don't go below a certain level. Or if you choose to do beetroot to take care of your hypertension, then you want to call your doctor and say, look, this is what I'm doing, this is what my blood pressure is, and can I get off my medication? And your doctor will walk you through that. I'm not qualified to do that because I'm not a medical person. So I'm a holistic person. But that's one of the things that we want you to be aware of. If you're on blood pressure medication, then you want to be careful with beets because you can bottom out, and we don't want that to happen. So another thing that could happen is your urine could turn pink, right? That's because beetroots have a lot of pigment in there. So the dark red pigments of the beet can turn your urine pink or red in about 10 to 14% of people. So that's not very many people, but it might be you, okay? It can also turn your stool a dark red-black color for a day or two after you eat the beets. That's never happened to me, so I don't know how often that happens, but just if that happens, that's nothing to be concerned about. It's because you have had beets, all right? If you have low blood pressure and you're doing the medication, we already talked about that, you want to be very, very careful. Also, if you're prone to kidney stones, okay, if that's something that you're prone to, you want to be careful because beetroot can exacerbate that situation. However, the National Kidney Foundation, which is about the kidney stones, right, recommends eating calcium and oxalate-rich foods together, which will help oxalate and calcium bind to one another in the stomach and intestines before reaching the kidneys, making it less likely for kidney stones to form in the urine. So you're going to have to figure out what that means for you. Okay, they don't give us any more information than that, but the National Kidney Foundation recommends eating calcium and oxalate-rich foods together. Now, all of your greens, dandelion greens, collard greens, beetroot grains, any of your grains, mustard grains, all of your grains are very, very high in calcium. Your green vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, all that, they are high in calcium. So if you eat that with the beet, you're going to be just fine. You're not going to make the stones, okay? So I know that was a lot of information. As I said, these are little packets. You pour into a bottle of water. There's 30 in here, so it is a month's supply if you do one a day. Don't know how many you want to do, but that's what it is. It's about $80. So divide that by 30, and that's how much it is a day. All right. So it's a little bit over $2 a day. But you know what? If you're keeping your heart good, if you're stopping your blood sugar from going all over the place, right? You're calming down the inflammation. You're nourishing your brain. It is a win-win. It is good, and it tastes good. It is not bad tasting, not even at all a little bit, okay? So that's my information for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for doing all the things, because Facebook likes you to do that. It's the weekend. My watchword for the weekend is self-care. I want you to do self-care too, and I will see you back next week with some really great information. Take care. Love you. Bye.